All you video gamers, welcome to yet another wheeling dealing Thief in the Thimble edition of the DJ Smokey's True Video Game Stories. And with a title like that, we decided to go with a game none other than Monopoly, the PC edition of Monopoly. Because if it was the regular version, and I'll tell you this much right now, we would be here all afternoon trying to tell you one complete story of one complete game, and I'm not having it. And I guess with that said, folks, I think it's time for us to pick up the dice, pick our favorite piece, and prepare to roll and try to survive in a board made by a man who almost looks like Mr. Peanut to me since I was 6 years old, as we get ready to paint the picture. Alright? This video game story began approximately 10 years ago when I decided to play my sister in this PC version of the game after she had this disc in a Honey Nut Cheerios box for well over 5 years prior to this very story, and finally found the computer, which mine's, that was able to play it. And during this said game, we decided that not only we were gonna fight over the race car piece, because they had other unique pieces in this game, including one for the dog, which my sister wanted, and I wanted the top hat, which was better than the race car in my opinion. I don't care what any of you out there say, including the maestro. But I digress. Because during this game, my sister developed a strategy to win instantly no matter what way you decide to go after it. And her strategy was to get all of the upper right-hand pieces along the lines of New York Avenue, Tennessee Avenue, St. James Place, Pennsylvania Railroad, Virginia Avenue, States Avenue, the Electric Company, and St. Charles Place that she would know and love to call Redland. And Redland, for those who've never been there, is one of the most horrifying places you will ever go in your entire life in the world of Monopoly. And a prime example of that, folks, is this one time when I was playing Monopoly and we decided instead of going with the standard Monopoly board to go with the Los Angeles version of Monopoly, my sister was able to construct Redland within 2 turns, which was the fastest she was able to do thus far, because we decided to add the rule of free parking to have money underneath it, which gave her the grease in the wheels needed, or the grease in the gears needed for her to construct her evil plan like no other. Now, one person who prevented her from her plan going off without a hitch would be none other than an evil little piece that goes by the name of the Thimble. And the Thimble, who actually decided to cut his nose to spite his face, decided to buy 3 properties on Redland to prevent my sister from getting any of it. And my sister would say, alright, I'm gonna get those pieces eventually, but I'm gonna make a deal with her. So my sister decided to make a deal with the Thimble, saying, hey, I'll give you all this money and even a railroad that was on the opposite side of the board. I do believe it was B&O Railroad that she had at the moment, and said, hey, I'll give you that and this money if you give me these 3 properties. And the Thimble would say, nah, I don't want it. The deal was declined. So my sister, being as evil as she is, laughed an evil laugh and said, I'm gonna get those pieces before she gets around that board. And I said, there is no way on God's green earth you're going to be able to pull that one off, especially with the battleship in cahoots with the Thimble while we were doing this game. Because every single thing that the Thimble did and every single trade plan that went across, those two would be negotiating with each other back and forth, trying to make my sister's life a living hell until that next following turn. Man, that Thimble should have made that deal. Because once the Thimble decided to go on community chest, Next thing you know, it would tell her to go back 3 spaces, which would land on my sister's property that she maxed out called States Avenue. I forgot what it was for the LA version, but landed on States Avenue, which cost her a pretty penny. She had to pay that out. Then when she rolled again, she rolled onto Virginia Avenue, which was another one of my sister's properties. And finally, to kill her off in less than those 3 turns that my sister promised, she landed right on New York Avenue without fail, and for her to actually give all her money to my sister. And to make matters worse, she would get those properties in that next following turn to make Redland truly complete, because the battleship said and chimed in during the auction, ooh, I want Tennessee Avenue. I want that piece. The one piece my sister was missing for my sister to say, oh, she can have it, but I'm gonna get it back in the next turn. And once again, me being who I am, did not believe my sister until she would go and land on Community Chest and get the wrath of Community Chest by them telling her to go to the closest railroad she was and pay out double for what it's worth. And the railroad that my sister had that she got from the thimble, which was Pennsylvania Railroad or whatever it was for the LA edition, she would have to pay that money out. And she wouldn't have enough money and would decide to secretly try to trade with me to make sure she can make it around the board one more time. But I wasn't having any of it because I said, whatever sort of witchcraft my sister's been up to on this board, I don't want any piece of it. So, trade with her. Don't trade with me, trade with her. And my sister, because the only properties the battleship had left on that board was Kentucky Avenue, Indiana Avenue, and Illinois Avenue, besides the B&O Railroad. And my sister would say, just give me those pieces. You can walk away alive. Just give me those pieces. You can walk away. But But I think the spirit of the thimble was inside that battleship, because she declined that plan too and just marched her way right on over to Pennsylvania Avenue for a guillotine, in my mind, to just cut that ship in half and for her ship to just sink and for her to go bankrupt. And after she went bankrupt and my sister rolled, when she landed on Community Chest, and this proved that the witchcraft in her was strong, she would get a pass to go directly to go and collect double the money that Go would offer. So I decided, after all of that went down, to just immediately bow out and just decide, nope, I'm not playing this out. I know how this is gonna end. I'm not gonna be a victim to witchcraft in this game. You win, I'm done playing. And my sister would win by default due to the fact of witchcraft. In my eyes and my mind, because there is no way on earth you're able to eliminate 2 people in less than 4 turns. Unheard of in the world of Monopoly, but my sister was able to pull it off. And ever since that day, I made a vow and a promise to never, and I mean ever, play my sister again in a game of Monopoly. Whether it be board or computer, never play her again in Monopoly. And I guess with that said, folks, wraps it up for another Lucky Wheelin' and Dealin' Thief in a Thimble edition of the DJ Smokey's True Video Game Stories. And with that said, we'll be back with more right after this. So stay tuned.